welcome to Ballard Meridian election coverage on HOMTV. I'm Gabriella Galloway. Joining us for this candidate interview is Deb Nolan, Democratic Incumbent Candidate for the Ingham County Commissioner for the 12th District. Welcome.
Thank you.
Would you like to take this time to introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yes. Hi, I'm Deb Nolan, and I'm the current Ingham County Commissioner. I've held this position for 12 years, and I'm asking for 2 more years, and I hope you all vote for me on November 8th.
Thank you. Each 12th District Ingham County Commissioner candidate will be asked a standard list of 10 questions. Let's get started with question number 1. What qualifications do you bring to the position of County Commissioner?
At this point, my strongest qualification is my experience on the Ingham County Board of Commissioners. It's a budget of over $200 million, and it takes a long time to learn all of the departments and all of the budgeting, and at this point, I'm pretty well versed. So I think I bring a lot of good experience. I bring fiscal responsibility, I bring level-headedness, and I bring collegiality.
Okay, question number 2. What one part of county government would receive more attention if you were elected?
One of the priorities that I have for the next 2 years, if I'm lucky enough to be reelected, is the road department. I'm really interested in complete streets policies. I'm interested in assuring that we have bike lanes every time we resurface and redo a road. I think it's important to have those markings on the road. I'm interested in trees and road beautification, and I'd like to see a complete streets road policy implemented countywide.
Okay, question number 3. What is your position on the county's role in combating chronic wasting disease in the local deer population?
Yes, we just found our 8th deer that has chronic wasting here in Meridian Township. And at the county level, we have always supported the hunting of deer in our county parks at certain hours in certain locations. And every year we vote to implement that program again. And I will continue to support that.
Okay, question number 4. What do you see as the most pressing needs for infrastructure or capital projects in the county?
One of our most pressing needs in Ingham County was a new animal shelter. And thanks to the voters in the August primary election, we have millage dollars now to move forward and build a new animal shelter down in Mason. So I'm very excited. For the entire 12 years I've been on the Board of Commissioners, we've needed to upgrade our animal shelter, and now we'll be able to do that. Even a higher priority than the animal shelter is the jail. We definitely, our jail is over 50 years old. There's new technology, new designs for how you create a jail. And I would love to see all of that implemented. It takes far more money to do a jail than and it would also include the 55th District Court, than it does to do an animal shelter. So we anticipate the animal shelter will cost maybe $6 million, whereas the jail could be 5, 6, 7, 8 times that. So the problem is finding the money to build that jail right now. But that's definitely an infrastructure need that we need.
Okay, and question number 5. Please explain your position and how you would address overcrowding at the Ingham County Jail.
I kind of spoke about that. The need really is to build a new facility. Overcrowding is a constant issue for us, and I think Sheriff Wigglesworth has been doing a great job of managing at the jail. But he definitely needs a new facility, and we'll have to be working on money solutions on how we would possibly fund that.
Okay, and question number 6. According to the Ingham County Health Department, opiates has been on the rise and opioid-related deaths have been increasing at an alarming rate. What would your approach be in handling this issue and other drug-related issues?
That's a great question. Opioid use in our county has definitely been on the increase, and our health department director, Linda Vale, noticed that about a year ago. And so she implemented an opioid task force, and while I'm not sitting on that task force and attending those meetings, I have access to their minutes, and they're doing a fabulous job of talking about Narcan and making sure that police are well trained and have the anti-opioid Narcan available. And our head librarian, Maureen Hurton, for our capital area district libraries, has just had police and fire then to come into the libraries to train library staff to recognize people who have overdosed. So I think in Ingham County we are doing an excellent job of staying on top of a bad issue.
Question number 7. How do you believe you would be a good representative for Meridian Township if elected to the Ingham County Board of Commissioners?
I think I'm a good representative because I enjoy the work that we do of setting budget priorities and policy, public policy, good public policy for Ingham County. I enjoy doing that work. I enjoy the collegiality that I have with Meridian Township officials, working with both the elected officials and our staff here in Meridian Township, and also working with my staff at Ingham County and my colleagues in Ingham County. So I enjoy the work.
Question number 8. If resources were available, what one area of county services do you feel needs additional resources?
I think the roads are pretty much a top priority. I'm looking forward to additional funding coming in from the state of Michigan for our roads. So in 2017, we will get an additional amount of money, and that money is going to go specifically for the primary, that is the main roads, and to improve the main roads. After 2017, after we get the main roads done, we're looking forward to getting more into the neighborhoods and local roads and improving those. So the infrastructure that needs work, another piece of infrastructure, are our roads.
Okay, and question number 9. In November 2014, voters approved a countywide parks and trails millage. Projects are not anticipated to begin until 2017, even though funds have been building over the last 2 years. What role would you take to move this project forward?
Well, actually, that question isn't exactly accurate because we've already had our first grand opening of a project, and I attended it. It was at Hawk Island, which is a county park on the south side of Lansing. And we have this beautiful 1.5 mile trail that goes around the lake. And that trail was deteriorating, and we took the Trails and Parks millage money, and this summer it was completely refurbished. And about just last week, we had the grand opening of that new piece of trail. So I encourage everybody to get out to Hawk Island and see some of the Trails and Parks millage money at work. It's a beautiful job that they did out there. So what happened is the voters passed the Trails and Parks millage in November of 2014, and we used all of 2015 to do planning and how are we going to use this money wisely and where are the best places to put this money. And we made a decision that there were several bridges that needed to be repaired and several trails, and we made that our priority. And a lot of those were in Lansing, a lot of those were related to the river trail in Lansing, and through 2016, at the beginning of this year, we were able to get all of that passed. So now it's just a matter of getting in bids and getting that money dispersed. But the first phase of all those projects has been set, and it's just a matter of getting the work done.
Okay, and question number 10. What do you consider to be the top 2 challenges facing Ingham County today and in the future?
The main challenge that Ingham County has is not different than all of the cities in Michigan and all of the counties in Michigan, and that is budgeting. So since the crash of 2008, we have not had the money coming in from property tax revenues. And every year for the past 8 years, we keep thinking that it will rise, but it is not increasing that much year by year. And so it's been a problem that we've had for the past 8 years where we've run a budget deficit. Fortunately, at Ingham County, we've had fund balance to cover that deficit. This year, for example, we're having an anticipated, well, when I say this year, our budget year for 2017, we'll be having a $5 million deficit. And we're starting to now not fill any positions when people retire, and we're still patching in with some fund balance, but in the future, we're just not going to be filling positions. So that's our biggest and main problem, is our budget. And it's a problem that's facing every city and every county in Michigan, not just us.
Okay, at this time we have finished the standard list of questions with Deb Nolan, who is the Democratic incumbent for the Ingham County Commissioner for the 12th District. We have some remaining time left. I have some follow-up questions if you wouldn't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Okay, so first off, are there any topics that you feel passionate about that you want to speak on today?
A lot of the ones, I do feel passionate about our Ingham County Health Department. We have a fabulous health department, about 350 employees. We have clinics all around the county that service low-income people, and wonderful doctors and some dentists that do work for us. So I'm very proud of our Ingham County Health Department, both the public health side and the clinic side, and I feel passionate about that.
Okay, and how do you think your experience, you've been in office since 2005, helps you in the race?
I think I mentioned this earlier in the program, but when you have a large budget like $200 million, it takes a long time. There's a big learning curve. So I've met that learning curve over the past 12 years and have learned about all of our departments. I've learned a lot of our 1,200 employees that work in those departments and what they do. So that's a huge advantage that I have, is knowing county government really well.
And what do you think is the most important thing you've learned since 2005 being in office?
There's a lot of important things. I've learned all of the wonderful functions of county government. I've learned about the great people that we have working in county government, about some of our programs, about our wonderful parks and trails, learning the budget, learning where to go when you have a problem. So there's a lot that goes into county government, and I'm proud to be part of it.
You mentioned a lot of issues with the roads, and that was one of your main concerns with the county. What specifically do you feel that needs to be fixed about the roads?
Well, I think everybody realizes that our roads have gone for a long time without being repaired. So there's never been enough money to keep them in good shape. In Meridian Township, voters have approved a road millage, and that greatly helps, but not to the need that we have. So every year there's about an additional $500,000 spent from just Meridian residents on Meridian roads, and everybody wants their local neighborhood roads repaired. And every year we just get to a very few of them. You know, we wish we could go in and get them all up to speed. But I'm hoping that over the next 5 years, with the additional money coming from the state of Michigan, that we will be able to get to some more of those local roads.
Okay, and another issue we had spoken about a few times during the program were the improvements regarding the jail. So we spoke about overcrowding. Are there any other issues that you see with the jail system in Ingham County?
It's interesting that the jail format that we have now is in posts. So they're blocks of cells, and you need guards and people at each of those posts. The new designs for jails have them in pods so that there's cameras and TVs, and someone sits in a center circle and the cells radiate around and out. So the whole design for modern jails is very different now, and I'd love to see that new infrastructure here in Ingham County.
Okay, and another issue we spoke about too was the chronic wasting disease in the local deer population. What do you see as the importance of combating chronic wasting disease?
Well, it's a good thing that chronic wasting disease doesn't transfer to humans, but it's easily picked up by deer, elk, moose, and the deer hunting business in Michigan is extremely important, especially in our northern counties. And this chronic wasting disease is not good for the animals and not good for the economy. So I'm grateful that we have MSU so nearby, which is where the animals are brought to the veterinarian clinic here on campus to be tested for chronic wasting disease. So we have national sharpshooters that come in to our county. No people are ever around when they're out trying to cull some of the deer herd, and I'm hoping that we can get on top of this.
Okay, and since being in office since 2005, what are some of the most important things that you feel that you've accomplished through those years?
That's a great question. In the very beginning, we had the juvenile justice millage, and I worked very hard on that, and we started a school down on Holmes Road. We purchased an old church and converted it into the Ingham County Family Center. And it's there that we have a school for grades 8 through 12, and we've been able to graduate youth that are in our court system, and that's been something that I'm very proud of, is that school, especially being a former a retired special education teacher working on the south side of Lansing at Gardner Middle School with the youth. I'm very pleased that we've implemented a lot of great programs for youth who are adjudicated. So that's, I'm proud of my work on the Trails and Parks Millage Task Force over the last year. We did take a long time to plan, and I'm proud of the projects that we've come up with to fund.
Okay, and do you feel that being a special education teacher helped you at all with being a commissioner?
I think it does. It informed, my decision that I'd rather see these adjudicated youth get an education, graduate from high school, and hopefully get into community college or college. And that was the focus I had coming in, working with that millage. And I had 3 other colleagues that felt the same way. And so we worked really hard, the 4 of us, to accomplish and get that school up and running.
Okay, and I kind of mentioned this in the beginning of our follow-up questions, but if there's anything that we didn't talk about today yet that you would like to mention or speak upon, you can go ahead.
Okay. I think we did a pretty good job of covering the issues that are important to Meridian Township. We have a fabulous community. We have exceptional schools. We have a wonderful fire department and emergency services. We have a wonderful police department, great manager. The people have voted in a really good board of trustees. I'm just pleased with Meridian Township. I'm very happy to be representing Southern Meridian Township. And I have a great colleague, Terry Banis, who represents Northern Meridian Township.
Okay, we have a few minutes remaining if you would like to give a brief closing statement.
I would just like to say that there's more work to be done. There's more work to be done on roads, on trails and parks, trying to find funding for a new jail, getting the animal shelter built over the next 2 years, and I'd be proud to be part of that if I was elected again on November 8th. I have thoroughly enjoyed my 12 years. I love representing the people in Meridian Township. We have so many registered voters, so many more than other places in the county. So it's a real privilege to represent Meridian Township.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being with us today. This has been a candidate interview with Deb Nolan, Democratic Incumbent Candidate for Ingham County Commissioner for the 12th District. I'm Gabriella Galloway, inviting you to watch Ballard Meridian election coverage right here on HOMTV.